I want to know about your conversations that you had with Border Patrol agents. I believe I saw on your social media you kind of compared them to travel agents, the way they're acting right now. So what do they have to say about the current situation?
Well, this situation has been incredibly difficult for men and women of law enforcement who work down on the border. So, of course, they are here, and their purpose and what they want to do is enforce our laws, make sure our country is safe, make sure their communities are safe. And because of these policies that are really just bringing in unchecked numbers of migrants to our country and placing them in other communities across America, what they are being forced to do day to day is bring these migrants in, process them essentially, make sure that they have clothing, give them food, and then move them to other parts of our country. And so they're not down at the border getting to enforce our laws, tell people to stay in their country of origin, none of the things that they typically would be doing. So I think it's been a very, very difficult situation for them. Many of them have, they're not able to take time off. Many of them weren't able to take time in the holidays that they wanted to take, because it is such a strain on resources as well. So, it is definitely not the way our immigration system is intended to work. This is not lawful. It's not the process that we're supposed to follow. The one thing that I will say, it's really time for this to be a bipartisan issue. This should not be a political issue. This is very significant for our national security to stop this flow, to ensure that we are tracking who's coming into this country. And as you know, we've found people from the terrorist watch list coming into our country illegally. So, I do think that we're starting to hear from some of our colleagues here in Congress that a recognition and local leaders in areas around America that recognize this is something that we have to address, that we must secure that border.
You bring up a really interesting point. This is obviously a political issue. You're saying this surpasses that. It's obviously been a hot button issue for a while now. So how do you work with Democrats? How do you bring them to the table and have these good faith discussions? Because I've had the opportunity to talk to many Democrats in Congress, and they've all said when the border has come up, this is a humanitarian crisis. So everyone can agree on that component. But now what's the next step here? Because from what you're saying, from what the stats are, this sounds certainly unsustainable.
Well, unsustainable is the right word. It absolutely is. This is not a small number of people. It is millions. So, a couple of things are important to remember. And one is on the subject of there being potential bipartisan interest, it's really reached a point now that America sees this as a crisis. So, it really is something that is an American issue and shouldn't be one party or the other fighting for it. It's a matter of national security. It's affecting our economy. We're enriching the drug cartels who are very much involved in the trafficking of fentanyl and the trafficking of people. So, these are issues that are very serious for our national security. And second, on the point about it having humanitarian impact, it is so important to remember that it is not a safe or sustainable situation for these migrants either, who are coming in beholden to traffickers. Border Patrol agents told us that many times they will have 7 to 9 years of time that it will take to work off these incredible debts that they owe to, bad people, drug cartels that are facilitating their unlawful entry into this country. So it is not a humanitarian thing to encourage or incentivize people from around the world to come to this country illegally. What we should instead do is focus on securing our border first, and then focus on legal immigration, the way that our system of laws and immigration laws are supposed to work, so that we know when someone comes to this country, they've done it in a way that is safe for them, it is safe for the United States of America, it is done in an orderly and lawful way. So we really need, Republicans in Congress have been committed to this since long before I was elected, but we've been working very hard on it for the past year. And I am very hopeful that we are about to see some of our Democrat colleagues acknowledge and recognize that this is something they need to be joining with us to do together.